Welcome to EduRev. Have you ever had one of those adventures that just changes everything? Well, let me tell you about mine. It's a story I'll never forget, and it's all about a train, a really dark tunnel, and, believe it or not, a leopard. My whole adventure kicked off right here at the entrance to this old railway tunnel tucked away deep in the jungle. You see, I was absolutely fascinated by this huge steam train that would come blasting through it every single day right around noon. I mean, every day I would ride my bike from town and hike over the hill, all just to catch a glimpse of this train. To me, it wasn't just some machine. Nope, it felt like this magical, powerful, roaring beast. I'd be waiting there in the jungle. It was hot and thick, with the sounds of insects and birds, and then I'd hear it, the first sign. A far off whistle, kind of lonely, echoing through the trees. It always gave me goosebumps. And right after the whistle, the tracks themselves would start to hum. You could feel this vibration building up right through the soles of your shoes. That's when I knew it was getting close. And then, whoosh, it would just explode out of the tunnel's darkness with this incredible roar. It looked just like a green, black, and gold dragon. Seriously, spitting smoke and sparks as it thundered by. What a sight! So once the train was gone and things were quiet again, my curiosity just took over. I had to see what was inside. I crept into that smoky, damp tunnel, and wow, my heart was pounding. A bat flew right past my face, and I saw a lizard scramble up the wall. It was spooky for sure, but also kind of thrilling. When I finally stumbled out of the other side, blinking in the bright sunlight, I really wasn't expecting to see anybody. But there he was, the man who looked after this stretch of the railway. His name was Sundar Singh. He was the watchman, a really kind, quiet man, and it was his job to walk through the tunnel every day and make sure the tracks were clear and everything was safe. He saw me and gave me this big, warm smile. He joked with me, telling me, "The tunnel is mine." I knew he was kidding, but the way he said it, you could just tell how much he cared about this place. It was his whole world. I was so excited. I started telling him about this flash of orange and gold I'd seen in the trees earlier. He just nodded, super calm, and told me, "Oh, yeah, that was the leopard. It came around here pretty often." And then he invited me to come back that night to watch the 9 p.m. train go by. I couldn't believe it. You bet I ran home to get my parents' permission. I was back at that tunnel just as it was getting dark, my heart absolutely racing with excitement for what was about to happen. So there we were, waiting in the quiet of the jungle night. It was so peaceful, and then we heard something coming from deep inside the tunnel. It wasn't the train, it was this strange, low, sighing sound. It made the hair on my arms stand right up. Sundar Singh and I just looked at each other, and I could see the same thought in his eyes. We both knew exactly what it was: the leopard. It was inside the tunnel, and the night train was on its way. Sundar Singh knew we had to act, and we had to act fast. We had to get that leopard out of there, not just to save its life, but to make sure the train could pass through safely. The pressure was on, and Sundar Singh, wow, he was amazing. He just looked at me and said, "Don't be afraid." Then we both ran into that dark tunnel, shouting and waving his oil lamp like crazy. The light and the noise completely startled the leopard, and with a snarl, it just shot out the other end and disappeared into the jungle. A moment later, the train roared past. That's when I really understood what being brave and responsible meant. You know, that night was so much more than just a scary adventure. It ended up teaching me a ton about the jungle, about its creatures, and well, about myself too. I learned that I could be brave when I needed to be. I made a friend in the most unexpected way, and I learned to see the leopard not as some scary monster, but as this magnificent wild animal that belonged right where it was. Honestly, That one adventure taught me some huge life lessons. Like, courage isn't about not being afraid, it's about doing the right thing even when you're scared, and that a little bit of kindness can create a real friendship. Most of all, I learned that being responsible means looking out for everyone and everything around you. So, fast forward about a week, and guess what? I was actually a passenger on that same night train. As we got closer to the tunnel, I pressed my face right up against the window, trying to see into the darkness outside. And then I saw it. Just a single tiny point of light in all that blackness. It was the glow from Sundar Singh's lamp. He was out there, standing watch. Seeing that small light felt so comforting. It was a little reminder of his quiet, constant care. And it's an image I'll never ever forget. So, yeah, that's my story. It was quite a journey, wasn't it? Let's just do a real quick recap of the whole adventure. It's pretty wild to think that it all started just because I thought a train was cool. But that simple curiosity led me on an adventure where I met an amazing person, faced a real danger, and learned what it truly means to be courageous and responsible. I really hope you enjoyed my story. If you want to explore this chapter in more detail with extra notes, videos, and even some tests to check your understanding, you should definitely download the EduRev app. It's available on both the Google Play Store and the iOS App Store.